Hello and welcome to Crypto Ride. My name is Anthony, and one of my goals is to show you how to responsibly invest in cryptocurrency while simultaneously building wealth through sound savings and investing habits. If you can learn to master some of the financial habits discussed on this channel, then you'll be on the path to financial freedom, whether or not your cryptocurrency investments boom. In this video, we'll talk about the importance of setting a yearly savings and investment goal, explain how to calculate your number, and break down what percentage of this number should be allotted towards speculative investments like cryptocurrency. If you find value in the content, don't forget to join our community by subscribing to the channel in the bottom right corner of your screen. Let's talk about financial goal setting. One of the first steps you'll need to make towards achieving your dream of financial independence is setting a yearly financial goal. And I want to talk about the importance of that too. Because when you set a goal, you're giving yourself a target. Okay, without that, you're just kind of floating through the days, weeks, and months. But if you have a goal, and especially if you make that goal just beyond what you think is possible, like so for me, I've set a goal for this year, which is just a little bit higher than not only what I did last year, but then what I would calculate based on my income this year. So it's a little bit beyond that. So what I'm doing is I'm allowing my mind to figure out and to manifest ways to achieve that goal. Because one thing you have to remember is that while our expenses are set in stone, assuming you're living in the same place, have the same car, right? There's always X amount of money going out, but there's no ceiling to the income you can create as an individual. So one thing you also have to get out of your mind is that you work a steady job with a steady salary and that is your income, right? That's one stream of income, and maybe I'll talk about that in a future video. But what else can you do to bring more money to you? The more money you bring to you, the more money you'll have to save and invest. And the other thing I want to say about your saving and investing goal is if you shoot for the stars, so to speak, and you make it a little bit higher than you think is possible, and you don't get there, it doesn't matter at all. Because on your way there, you established habits that will make you a goal achiever and help you on your path to financial independence over time. So the most important thing to developing your goal is figuring out what your number is. What is that number that you are aspiring to save and invest in a 1-year period of time? The first step is going to be to calculate what your monthly income is. Then you'll need to calculate your expenses. And if you've never done this before, it's really critical that you sit down, you could create a spreadsheet or something like that in Excel and figure out how much money you have going out. Then you want to take that money and subtract it from your income, and you'll have a little bit of leftover. Hopefully you'll have a fair amount left over. Now, it's unrealistic to think that you can save all of that leftover money because you need to also have money to have a little bit of fun and live life. So again, to break that down, you've got the income, subtract your expenses, and the money that you're going to allocate for just having fun and living life. And then you should still have some money left over. Then what I want you to do is multiply that number, whatever's left over, by 12, and then add $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 to it and make that your goal to save and invest for the year. Hopefully the money you have left over is about 20 to 25%. If it's more than that, that's amazing. That's going to really fast track you to financial independence. If it's less than that, that's okay. Like I said, you can always find ways to create more money or to lower your expenses. So now that you've set your overall yearly goal to save and invest, I want to talk a little bit about how the percentages will break down in that, and how much in particular that you should invest in cryptocurrency and speculative investments. So I've also made an entire other video about how much you should invest in cryptocurrency specifically, and I'll put a link to that on top of the screen, but definitely check that out. What I'm going to say to you is you should invest anywhere from 5 to 25%, and then you got to figure out where you are in life and what makes sense to you. But remember, speculative investments like cryptocurrency, they could boom, like I mentioned in the intro, and make you an insane amount of money, but they might not. So my goal as a YouTuber and as a voice for you guys is to just make sure you're doing a lot of other things and you're being responsible with your money. So now that you've watched this video and hopefully thought about some of the things that I've said, I want you to comment below with what your yearly savings goal is. And this is a really important step. I have written my goal down and I look at it regularly. So if you write it down and you can comment it so everyone else can see in the community, then A, you've done the thinking to calculate it and you have a realistic expectation. And B, you're going to hold yourself accountable because now you've put that mind in the universe. Another thing you can do is you can write down that goal. And this might sound crazy, but you can write down that goal and then just put it in a note on your phone and look at it once a week or once a month. Or stick it to your computer, something like that. I do that with goals all the time, and I found it to be a really powerful thing. I want to thank you for watching, ask you to subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed what you've seen, and encourage you to check out the rest of the Crypto Ride YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.